This is the DJI Mini 3 Pro. Alright you guys, what is good? So I've had my new DJI Mini 3 Pro for about 3 months now, give or take. With that being said, I feel like that's enough time for me to have utilized it and its many features. So what I wanted to do today was give a video that gives 3 things that I believe are very important positives and then 1 major negative, but these are my major talking points based on that. So with that being said, let's get into it. Alright, so first thing that I like about this drone is the ability to do a true vertical crop. This one I might get in a little bit trouble with. I know there's a lot of people out there that's like, hey, you can shoot in 4K, like, you know, just shoot horizontally and then crop vertically and you still get HD. That's very accurate, and that's actually a very valid point. And oftentimes I do that if I know that there's potential that I am going to shoot it or need it in horizontal. But a lot of times, like, I'm just shooting for like Instagram stories. And with that being said, like, then why not just utilize the maximum resolution, you know? And also, like, it's just what you see is what you get. Like, no needing to crop, no needing to be like, is this composition gonna look good once I crop from horizontal to vertical? What you see is what you get. Another one is native 4K. I mean, up until this point, I don't think social media and stories take 4K, but in the case that in the near future they do, you have 4K instead of having 1080 after you crop it from horizontal. Another reason is, you know, if you're utilizing it for stories, with the DJI app, you can transfer these files straight to your phone. So I can literally shoot these in native vertical format, then transfer them to my phone, edit them in Lightroom Mobile, or if it's video, CapCut or whatever you want, and then post it straight to stories. No need to crop, no need to lose any resolution or anything. It's just a very fluid process. So that's the first thing that I really like about the drone. So the next thing that I really like about this drone is its small size and weight, which to a lot of people this might be the most important thing about it. I know a lot of people that travel, like travel vloggers and people that do a lot of destination weddings, so on and so forth. That's the main drawing point with this drone because of the weight and size. For reference, this is the drone right here. As you can see, this is literally like the size of my hand. It's super small. I mean, this thing, I'm not gonna do it, but you basically can fold it up and put it in your pocket. It's like a thick cell phone. I mean, this thing is incredibly small. Weight wise, DJI has it listed at 249 grams, which the big thing about that is a lot of countries have restrictions on drones that are 250 grams and above. So with having it 249 grams, you don't need to register it in a lot of countries or territories. That's obviously a very big perk for, you know, time constraints and not having to worry about things, and money, because a lot of times registrations and permits cost money. So that is definitely a major point. Alright, so my final positive talking point that I have is the ability to shoot in 10-bit footage. This may not be something that matters much to certain people, but this is a major aspect in my point of view, potentially the biggest out of these three. The reason for that is 10-bit footage has more color depth than 8-bit footage, and what that basically means in a dumbed down version is you are going to have better success in color grading 10-bit footage than you are 8-bit. An example of this is when you get too extensive with 8-bit footage, it'll start to get choppy. The main area that I would say that this gets, is visible in most videos is in the sky. The gradient from some of the lighter colors into darker colors in the sky, like you'll definitely see it in that. Whereas with 10-bit footage, because it has more color depth, you're not going to see that, or if you do see it, it's going to take a lot more pushing and maneuvering of colors in order to see that. I love heavy color grades. I'm somebody that really loves a deep, dark cinematic look, and I'm also somebody that really loves a film look. So those involve heavy manipulation, pushing and pulling colors, pushing and pulling exposures. I often add like halation, grain, so on and so forth. I do a ton of different effects. Grain actually is something that will help with choppy color depth, but I add it just because I like it. A lot of people will add grain to actually defeat choppy color depth. I add it because I like it. But 10-bit, super important. This is actually an update that came out after it came out before I bought the drone. So when I got the drone, I already had it, but people that originally bought the drone, they were only able to get 8-bit. And then eventually DJI came out with the firmware upgrade that allowed them to upgrade to 10-bit, which I'm sure was met with much applause. But yeah, that is definitely super important to me. This is, again, I might consider this the biggest of the positives in my opinion. Definitely important for color grading. Definitely important for creating very vibrant, cinematic looking vlog-esque videos. Alright, and finally, for the one negative aspect that I've experienced with this drone, it is due to how small it is, and as a result, how fragile this drone is. So this drone, super small, we all know this. So as a result, this thing feels pretty fragile. It's super light, it's plastic, it's, DJI did everything they can to keep this under 250 grams. Well, the sacrifice to that is it's fragile. I have never wrecked this yet, but in the case that I do, I went and got DJI Care, because I know if I wreck this thing or I bang it into a branch or a tree or a sign or anything, it's breaking. I know people that have broke these, multiple of these, because every time they hit something slightly, an arm breaks, the body cracks. This thing is very lightweight and as a result very fragile. That is by far the biggest negative in my opinion. This wing, if you can see that, I can move that around easily. I have no doubt that if this connected with a branch, it's done, it's snapping. It's definitely vital that you get DJI Care. I think I got 2 years of it. It was like $150. I don't doubt at all that at some point in time I do use it. I'm very careful with my drone, but let's be honest, Mother Nature, whether it be rain, snow, a strong wind, something's probably going to happen that you probably are going to damage this thing, and it's very prone to damage. So definitely just keep that in mind if you're interested in this drone. Alright, you guys, so with that being said, I'm curious to know what your thoughts are on this drone. Do you own it already? Do you not own it? If you don't own it, what are your thoughts on it after watching this video? I do believe that they may be coming out with a new one soon. Are you going to wait for that? Are you just going to pull the trigger and get this one? I know there is the Mini 3 and the Mini 3 Pro. There's obviously pros and cons to getting the Pro, the con being it's higher in price. Yeah, with all that said, let me know what you guys think, and I'll talk to you guys later.